Look, I talked earlier about chaos in the workforce. The new definition of chaos is energy policy. I warned this would happen, though Australia seems to have learnt nothing. Now Germany is passing emergency laws to reopen mothballed coal-fired power plants for electricity generation ahead of winter. Italy is expected to do likewise. Germany, which under Merkel was to phase out coal by 2030, has a new government in coalition with the Greens and has said it will increase its use of coal to preserve energy supplies. The economic minister is a bloke called Robert Habeck, a Greens MP in the coalition government. He said bringing back coal-first power plants was, quote, painful, but, quote, a sheer necessity. We have this Energy Security Board here, 5 years old, which is supposed to provide, quote, whole-of-system oversight for energy security. It's supposed to be designing a technology-neutral capacity mechanism. Stupid language, isn't it? What that means is they're trying to lock in reliable power supply, knowing that renewables aren't reliable. And they've reportedly rejected demands that fossil fuels be excluded. They have argued here in Australia that essential coal and gas plants should not exit the power grid before replacement renewables and storage generation are in place. Well, I'll tell you something, that's a long way down the track. But now the rubber has hit the road. Energy prices worldwide are soaring, which means that Russia, with its oil and gas, are making a mozza. In other words, Europe is funding Russia and yet pretending to fight their invasion of Ukraine. That's how mad we've become on energy policy. Russia's budget surplus quadrupled in May compared to the same month a year ago. As I told you last week, this other crowd, the Australian Energy Market Operator, I mean, all these outfits are not independent. They just take their brief from government. And as you know, up until the last election, the Coalition and Labor was singing from the same sheet of music on renewables and emissions. Well, this mob, the Australian Energy Market Operator, said at the end of last month that we were undergoing a, quote, complex, rapid and irreversible change to our energy system. They got that right. But then they said that the system would need a 9-fold increase in wind and solar capacity by 2050 to meet the nation's net zero emissions target. And that would be a complete understatement. During the election campaign, Anthony Albanese released a policy, Powering Australia, subheaded, Labor's plan to create jobs, cut power bills and reduce emissions by boosting renewable energy, unquote. Labor said their energy plan would create 604,000 jobs, 5 out of 6 in the regions, and, quote, it will cut power bills for families and businesses by $275 for homes by 2025 compared to today. Well, have a look above you. You might see pigs flying backwards.